I remember 9 years ago when I started at Alipay, people say, Jack, don't touch the financing sector because it's illegal, you may be in prison. If you want to be successful, learn from the other people's mistakes. Don't learn from the successful stories. As an entrepreneur, you have to get used to be challenged, have to get used to be said no by the other people. We have like 300 people become millionaires. And I ask them, hey, now tell me, you become millionaires because you are smarter than the others? The people say, no. We even cannot find jobs.
Top 10, I got a top 10. Got my motivation high for my top 10. Gotta learn from the wise women and men. All my life, like 9 and 9. For my top 10, top 10, 9 and 9. This one's for my top 10.
Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1. Get used to rejection.
When I graduated from universities, and before I, for 3 years I tried to fill in the universities. So I applied jobs for 30 times, got rejected. I went for a police, they said, no, you're not good. I went to even the KFC. When KFC came to China, come to my city, 24 people went for the job. 23 people were accepted. I was the only one guy. And we went for police. 5 people, 4 of them accepted. I was the only guy that did not receive it. So to me, being turned down, rejected. Oh, by the way, I told you that I applied for Harvard for 10 times, rejected. I know I'll be rejected. I just don't want to say that.
Yeah, sorry now. 10 times you wrote them and said, I'd like to come to Harvard.
Yeah. And then I told myself, someday I should go teach there, baby.
Also, if you want to have more confidence, check out my 254 series. It's free. The link to join is in the description below.
It's so difficult to be a small business owner in China. It took me 5 months to borrow $500.
The people who do the model should believe in the model, and I believe what I do.
Rule number 2, keep your dream alive.
We have a secret code for Alibaba success. Just like Open Sesame is the secret code for Alibaba. The secret code for everybody is keep your dream alive because it might come true someday. This is what the secret code is.
Rule number 3, focus on culture.
What do you think your core competence is?
Our code is culture. It's not the technology. I think technology is a tool. The core competence of our companies, we have 20,000. We grow from 18 people to now 20,000 young people. And we focus a lot on the value and the mission and making sure the culture, everybody work for helping others instead of just making money.
Mm-hmm. Rule number 4, ignore the little man.
People don't like it. So many people I talked to at that time for Alipay, they say, this is the stupidest idea you have ever got. But I say, I don't wear the stupid or clever as long as people use it. Now we have 800 million people using this Alipay.
Rule number 5, get inspired.
I learned a lot of things from movies. I learned how to make a speech from the movie called Bodyguard, Whitney Houston. When she sings the songs, I look at her, wow, that's the way that you make a speech, because I never know how to make speech, because I'm not an actor. But when I saw the movie, I say, wow, if you sing from your heart, if you sing naturally, if you're yourself. So I realized, and I learned a lot from the movies, even learned from the Godfathers. I learned, my favorite movie is Forrest Gump, These are the things I learned so much. And we discuss about the muse, the inspirations we got from movies.
Rule number 6, stay focused.
What kinds of business ideas have you said no to?
I'm saying no to a lot of ideas because as a CEO, I have to say no to opportunities. Because if I say yes, I probably get 5,000 opportunities every day. But whether yes or no, everything based on the mission that we're helping doing business easier. If it's on that, we will consider. If somebody coming and saying, we will have this deal, will make a lot of money, I'm not interested.
Rule number 7, have a good name.
Why did you call it Alibaba?
Alibaba? Well, when I started, I think internet is global. We should have a global name. And a name that, interesting, like at that time, the best name is Yahoo. Right, so I've been thinking for many days, suddenly thinking Alibaba is a good name. So I was happened to be in San Francisco that day. I did have a lunch and the waitress came. I asked her, do you know about Alibaba? She said, yes. I said, what is Alibaba? She said, Open Sesame. Good. So I went on the street, asked about 10, 20 people. They all know about Alibaba, 40 Thieves and Open Sesame. And I think this is a good name. And start with A. Whatever you talk about, Alibaba is always top.
Rule number 8, customers are number 1.
We believe the co-company different from the Wall Street. We believe customer number 1, employee number 2, shareholder number 3.
Customer 1, employee 2, shareholder
number
3.
3. Yeah, again, this is my religion. It's the customer that pay us the money. It's the employees that drive the innovation. It's the shareholder, and the shareholder always say, I remember the day before we IPO, and a lot of people say, Jack, can I give us the shares? We were long-term shareholders. But when the crisis came, these guys run as soon as,
they ran away.
They ran away. My people stayed, customers stayed.
Rule number 9, don't complain, look for opportunities.
And I want to tell young people, when most people complain, where the opportunity is. People start to complain. Some people complain. People start to change themselves, change others. Where the opportunity is where the complaints are. Where the trouble, where is the opportunity. And I always believe that.
Rule number 10, have passion.
而今天，我想把大家请过来，跟大家共同探讨以后至少5年、10年我们要做的事情。那么阿里巴巴我们将做成怎么样？我想，从黄页的时候我就提过，黄页所要瞄准的对象不是国内战略，而是国际战略。我们所有的竞争对手不在于中国，而在于美国的硅谷。如果说第一，我们把阿里巴巴定位，就把它作为国际站点，我们不要把它定位是国内站点。第二个呢，我想就是我们要学会硅谷人的一种拼劲。如果说我们是早上8点钟下班，5点8点钟上班，5点钟下班，这个不是搞高科技啊，这个绝对不是我们阿里巴巴能成功。如果说我们有这种精神，反正我上班了，8点钟上班，5点钟下班了 ，OK， 赶紧去其他地方。人家美国人强就强它的硬件，强就强它的系统建设，这方面确实比你早。但是玩信息玩软的，中国人的脑袋绝不比人家差。我们在座的所有的人的脑袋绝不比任何人差。这就是我们敢跟美国人斗的一些东西，我们绝对敢斗。如果我们是好的 team、好的团队，我们自己知道我们想做什么，我们想干些什么的时候，我相信我们是可以以一当十。我们能够赢政府机构，我们能够赢其他很多的民营企业、大的这种企业的是什么？凭的是我们的精神、我们的意识、我们的创新概念，以及我们这种拼劲才能去斗。否则的话，跟他们有什么区别呢？谁都知道，Internet是个泡沫。我刚才讲的危机感就是Internet这个泡沫现在越来，什么时候破？然后呢，把股票掉了，eBay股票会涨。那么有一天eBay股票涨了以后，可能阿里巴巴社区的股票涨，所以不要担心。我觉得 Internet 这个梦不会破，这个泡沫不会破。我们为后面的3、5年所付出的代价是非常惨重，只有这样的惨重的代价，才会赢得我们未来的取得的成功。那么目标是2002年。
Rule number 11, just go for it.
Ma made it into college on his 3rd try and became an English teacher. With no computing or engineering background, he's an unlikely tech titan, but he says he was captivated by the internet from the moment he first saw it in 1995, when he came to the US as a translator.
I never touched keyboard before. I never using computer before. And I say, what is internet? He said, Jack, search whatever you want on the internet. I said, how can I search? What does search mean? He said, just the type. I said, I don't want to type. Computer is so expensive in China. I don't want to destroy it. He said, it's not a bomb, just the type. So I typed the first word called beer. At that time, very slow. Come out the American beer, Japan beer, and the German beer, but no China beer. So I was curious and I typed China. No China, no data. Came back to Hangzhou with $1 in my pocket, scared, worried, and I came back and I said I want to do something called internet.
Rule number 12, solve big problems.
We are not a company that normally China call. We call ourselves a company that's running a platform, a company that is running an ecosystem. We are almost everywhere. People say, Jack, you are in the B2B and B2C, and you're calling C2B on the finance and online payment, logistics, cloud computing. You are everywhere. Not because we're greedy, not because we want to do it, because we have to do it. If we do not do it, China e-commerce in the years will collapse. I remember 9 years ago when I started at Alipay, people say, Jack, don't touch the financing sector because it's illegal, you may be in prison. And we taught ourselves if we don't do it, the China e-commerce will always like a chat room. Everybody say, it's a good thing and I don't pay, you don't get the things. So I say, well, put me in the prison. Let's make sure that Alipay, the payment solution works. And people say the payment solution is such a stupid idea. It's an escrow service. I pay you, hold the money, and you get the things. You pay the money. If you don't get the things you want, return the money. They say it's a stupid product. And I say, as long as it solves the problem, I like stupid things, Let's make stupid things smart. Keep on improving every day.
Rule number 13, change yourself.
When I started a business, because it's so difficult to be a small business owner in China, it took me 5 months to borrow $500 and still failed. No chance. And it is, and I have no any idea about how to run a business. And when I go to register a company called Internet, the registering officer said, no, there's no such a word internet in the dictionary. How can you register an internet? So he said, you have to register another name. So I said, what's the name? He said, computer consulting firm. And I have no idea about what is computer. So my first company is Hangzhou Hope Computer Consulting Firm. It was tough. Without knowing anything about the technology, without knowing anything about the computer. In the past 15 years, been working. I call myself like a blind man riding on the back of the blind tigers. Those experts riding horses, they all fell. We survived because we worry about the future. We believe the future. We change ourselves. We never completely understand.
Rule number 14, inspire.
Every 5 years, we have a review for our strategy. Now, our strategy is always to look at the 30 years and 10 years. And every strategic decisions we make, we have to ask one question. Is this decision we made solve society problem? Because we believe the bigger social problem you solve, the more successful you are. So if this cannot solve any social problems, we don't do it. Second, is this project is going to be successful in 10 years? If it's going to be successful in 10 years, let's do it. If it's going to be successful in 1 year or 1 month, normally I would say, forget about it. Because why you can be successful in 1 year or 1 month? So we all have to put parallel. And 5 years ago, we had a big debate about 10 years later, 20 years, what are the things that China society and the world want? So we say happiness and health. 2H strategy. So happiness and health. We believe Hollywood, the movie industry, bring people happy. Because today, nobody's happy. Rich people not happy, poor people not happy, At least when I watch a movie, I feel happy about it, right? So I think we should partner with the Hollywood, especially like a lot of, we have a different way of living in China. The movie, we have a lot of heroes, but China movies, heroes always dead. The American movie hero never die. If all the heroes die, who want to be the hero? So my movie, I want to make the hero live. Right, so this is, I think we should learn a lot. And it's only about 2 years, so we have another 8 years to go. I want to make our company that it's not e-commerce. It's something that giving people inspirations. Giving people, because I learn a lot. For example, I always say that my favorite movie, Forrest Gump. You know, life is tough. This is I learned, and that inspired me. That is why when people call me crazy, stupid in the past 17 years, you're crazy, you're doing something never work. You're stupid, how can you do that model? Amazon this model, eBay this model, why Alibaba this model? I told myself, Forrest Gump said, go ahead. Never care about what the other people. And the other thing, Forrest Gump said, nobody make money out of the catching whales. People make money by catching shrimps. So we serve small business.
Fair enough.
Rule number 15, build trust with your customers.
When we started the e-commerce, nobody believed that China would have e-commerce because people believe on the guanxi, face-to-face, and all kinds of networking traditional ways. There's no trust system in China.
He had to overcome centuries of tradition by showing Chinese buyers and sellers that they could trust Alibaba with their money in this new virtual world. He did it by guaranteeing the transactions and creating his own payment system, an escrow account where Alibaba holds the buyer's money until the goods are delivered.
Every day we finish more than 30 million transactions. And that means that you are buying things from somebody you have never seen. You are giving products to the person you have never met. And there are some guys you never know that he's going to take your products to that place, to that person. I want to tell the people that the trust is there.
Because it's all about trust.
It's all about the trust.
Rule number 16, work smart.
Who works harder? The people at eBay or the people at Alibaba?
It's sometimes you have not only have to work hard, you have to work smart.
Mm-hmm. So would you say you work smarter than eBay? I'd have to say yes, right?
Well, so far.
Yeah, so far.
Okay. Because I think, we are pretty lucky people. And the people say, you work very hard. True, in this world, there's so many people work very hard. But they're not that. I told my team when we IPO'd, I asked a lot of people sitting there, I say, all of you guys, most of you guys millionaires and so rich. But 15 years ago, who are we? It's so difficult for us to hire people 15 years ago. People who are not that bad. I said, people can still walk on the street. We hire them. Because nobody believes internet. And they join the company. Those people who believe they're smart, they were headhunted to the other company. They set up their own company. Those people, nobody go to headhunting them. They stayed. Today they be successful. Very key reasons, we insist, we persist, we never give up. Okay. We believe the dreams together.
Rule number 17, believe in your philosophy.
One of the things that's so fascinating to me is that Amazon and Jeff Bezos have pursued what might be described as a very asset-heavy business model. They're buying airplanes. They want to own the entire supply chain from beginning to end. And Alibaba has effectively an asset-light business. It is very much, in terms of the retail piece of this, the opposite. You don't want to own the warehouses. You don't want to own the logistics companies. How do you think about that? Is Jeff Bezos right, or are you right? And is there going to be a meeting in the middle?
I hope both are right. And because the world can never have one model. If the world has only one correct model, the world is too boring. Right? We need to have all kinds of models. And the people who do the model should believe in the model. And I believe what I do. Right? The difference between Amazon and us. Amazon is more like an empire. Everything they should control themselves, buy and sell. And our philosophy is that we want to be an ecosystem. Our philosophy is to empower others to sell, empower others to service, empower making sure the other people are more powerful than us. Making sure with our technology, our innovation, our partners, our 10 million small business sellers, they can compete with Microsoft, IBM. Our philosophy is that we think using internet technology, we can make every company become Amazon.
Rule number 18, think carefully.
I learned my English by myself when I was 12 years old. For whatever reason, I don't know, I just fell in love with the language. Every morning from 5 o'clock I rode a bicycle about 40 minutes to the Hangzhou hotel, looking for foreign tourists to teach me English. I showed them around the city, and they told me English. My English is not perfect, but the things I learned so interesting because the things the Americans, the foreign tourists visit China, they told me are so different from the things I learned from my parents and my teachers. Yes, I was in the Cultural Revolution, everything I taught, so different. Since then, everything I learned, I've got a habit. You have to use your own brain to think about it, just 1 more minute. When everybody says yes, wait for 1 minute. When everybody says no, wait for 1 minute. Think about it carefully. Because if you look at the world in a different way, you might do it in a different way.
Rule number 19, focus on the efficiency.
In the future, you will not make money by the service you offer. How good service you do. It's going to be how efficient you are. And Alibaba, we are a company right now have 20, that's not including the financial group. We have 25 units, 25 different business units. Maybe in the future we might have 50, I don't know, right? We have that many units, and we are almost in everywhere. We control our head counts by efficiency we have. We only have 24,000 people. I tell you a story. The thing I feel proud of, 2 years ago, we started to have a budgeting meeting, and I asked my team, well, year 2012, if we want to double all the numbers we have, how many people we need? And people say 7,800 new people. And I said, no, check it again. And then they say 6,800 people. I said, no. And my people ask me, how many you want? I said, 200. They said, no, impossible, 200. My answer is that for years, we discussed, we should hire more people for future. I've heard this for 10 years. Now, let's just do the efficient thing. And I told all the management, if we have net headcount over 200, even 1 people, we should have no bonus for whole year for year 2012. And then we start the plan. Year 2012, we net lose 1,000 people. All the number doubled. And I say, if we want to create more jobs for the others, let's keep our headcounts. Make sure, because right now we have over 500 million registered users on Taobao. No matter how many people we hire ourselves, we cannot be, it's always not enough people. So we can focus on technology, focusing on making sure the platform is efficiency, focusing on everybody makes the difference in the platform. That will make the difference.
Rule number 20, enjoy your life.
People say, oh, this is uncertain world. Every day is uncertain. The only certain day was yesterday. I'm not sure about that in the future. I will dictate, I will be stupid. That's why I should retire early when I'm young. That is why I have a lot of things that I dream I want to do. I want to do philanthropy, I want to be a teacher, I want to go back to school, I want to do the environment. And the world is so wonderful. Why should I be the CEO of Alibaba all the time? I'm coming to this world not to work. I want to come to this world to enjoy my life. I don't want to die in my office. I want to die on the beaches.
It's a wonderful message.
Rule number 21, learn from the mistakes of others.
My thinking is that, you guys remember, if you want to be successful, learn from the other people's mistakes. Don't learn from the successful stories. Successful stories they make, don't listen to that. There are a lot of reasons behind it. Just like, I remember the first time Harvard Business School came to us, say, Jack, we want to write a case study for you. That's years 2001 or 2000. They came, they spent 1 week and they write a report and I read, no, I said, this is not me. And they said, this is you. I said, no, this is not us. He said, this is you. So they make up his sign. And the case study go up, and they start to teach in a lot of universities. The next 5 years, they invited me to go to the case study, and they always find a competitor of my company. And after every case study, Alibaba will die, that company will succeed. All the students agree. And actually, every 5 years, all the competitors die, we still survive. So how can you study this kind of a successful story? Learn from the mistakes, the other people. No matter how smart you are, you will encounter these mistakes. You learn from mistakes not because you will be able to avoid mistakes. You will able to, when these mistakes come, this suffer comes, you know how to deal with it, how to face it. The book I want to write, if I can, is Alibaba 1001 Mistakes. This is the most treasurable things that in my life. In my life, it's not how much we achieved. It's how much we go through the tough days and mistakes. And this is what, if you start to think now, it'll be good.
Rule number 22, focus on quality, not size.
Last century, the bigger the better. This century, the good the better. Do the business, not because the size, it is not necessary, the big size you are, the more profit you are.
You really believe that?
I believe that.
There's a different ethic of business.
You know, we got a Fortune 500 companies, you judge because of the size. How many of them are really happy? How many of them have profit? No. Small companies, they are very profitable. They are very happy. They can spend time with the wife and the husband and kids traveling around, and that's the life.
Rule number 23, be the first.
Don't try to be the best. Be the first. Be the first to change. Be the first to take the challenge. Be the first one to overcome the difficulties. Because the best person, there's only one Olympic champion. I don't think I'm lucky enough to be that. But I can always try the new things and don't give up if I believe it, because you are so unique. Everybody is unique. Be yourself is always the key.
Rule number 24, prepare for the future.
People like me, I was born in a very poor family. I never got a great education. You know, I failed all the examinations. For what reason, I don't know. But later, I realized I don't have money, I don't have technology, I don't have a lot of good backgrounds. We have a rich uncle or something, no. The only thing I competed with my people, the young people, is let's compete for 10 years later. This is what I believe 10 years later will be happening. So everything I do for that goal, I know 10 years later, this thing is going to happen. So prepare for that. Because I know if I compete with him for next month, no chance. So this is how my message is. It's a challenge, but it's an opportunity. And it's the opportunity for people like us. This world, the most difficult thing is to convincing a successful people. When you tell him, this is a great opportunity, he says, no, forget it, right? I've been doing this for 30 years. But for people like us, we're looking for opportunities in order to survive. So we will do anything to be creative. So this is the message. 30 years, it's an opportunity for us. It's a challenge for those people who are 60 years old. If they're 60 years old, not discrimination, but it is tough for them.
Rule number 25, respect your customers.
Who's your most dangerous competitor? Is it Amazon or is it Tencent?
Well, people always compare us with Amazon. Amazon is a great company. I respect. I've been seeing them from tiny to that big, and I think they will continue to grow. But we are different. Amazon is an e-commerce company. We are not e-commerce company. We enable other people to do e-commerce. We want to making sure everybody can be Amazon.
So are you saying Tencent is the greater competitor?
Tencent is, of course, they are a great company, and you know, it's not easy to be that size within only less than 20 years, so innovative and so creative. so different on social technology, and they're based in Shenzhen, and they're almost everywhere in China. But respect, of course we compete, but compete does not mean I have to hate them. Don't hate your competitors. Respect your competitors, learn from him, but Pony and I, we've been doing the charity together, the Nature Conservancy, and protect but we compete each other. But when we compete each other, we should respect each other. I respect him. I respect Tencent.
Rule number 26, see challenges as opportunities.
This world today is full of challenges and opportunities. 2,000 years ago, full of challenges and opportunities. And I'm sure 2,000 years later, full of challenges and opportunities. There's always, it depends on how you look at it. Somebody look at this challenge as opportunity. Young people always say there's no opportunity. I complain a lot when I was young because I think Bill Gates took all the opportunities for the Microsoft, and Steve Jobs, all these guys. There's no job, there's no great big stuff left for us. But I think opportunity always lies in the challenges, always lies in the complaints. If you can solve the challenge, you will be successful. The big challenge you solve, the big problem, the big opportunity you have.
Rule number 27, believe.
In the past 18 years, when I do internet in China, we got a criticism every day. Something when you believe it, a lot of people criticize it. But if you really believe, continue to do it, improve it. We were rejected by more than 30 venture capitalists. But we are very optimistic. We believe in the future. We believe in internet. And we believe that if we do not succeed, somebody will.
Rule number 28, surround yourself with greatness.
How do I motivate, incentive or motivate my colleagues? You have to find the people that can mobilize themselves. It's impossible to encourage a negative person. So the people you hire, the people work together, they have to be, or you cannot, we have 65,000 employees now. You cannot hire all of them that positive, but at least the people work with me. My management, leadership, several areas, they have to be positive. They have to know to incentive the others, because I cannot incentive everybody. And making sure the culture. So I think it would be very painful for me to talk to my vice president, and he need to be incentivized and mobilized every time, right? This won't work. If he does not know how to incentivize or mobilize his people, it's better. I don't think he will be the vice president. He should be a good engineer, good designer, but not a good leader. A good leader should know how, but not by only money. Most of people incentivized or mobilized not because you give them a lot of money. You give them respect, trust, appreciation, and correct, heartful advice. When you come to my meetings, internal meetings, you will be shocked because we are not like a lot of the other Chinese company. The boss say, everybody listen, take notes, and go down. We are like a war room. We make decisions based on whose voice is louder. Right? Early days, we fight and talk, and then making sure everybody speak up. Right. So this is also a way of mobilize and incentive. There are a lot of ways, and different people have a different way to send incentive.
Rule number 29, live healthy.
I think life is a journey. You come to this world is to enjoy the life, to be happy and healthy. So the day when you leave the world and you say, I'm happy in my life, I'm healthy in this life, because if you're not healthy, you will never be happy. So I believe happy and healthy are the things the human being always looking for. And I think next to 30 years, because of the technology, the life science is going to change a lot. and people is going to live longer. But you can live longer does not necessarily live healthier. So if you're not healthy, how can you be happy? If you live longer, if you're not happy, why you live there?
Rule number 30, have fun. Rule number 31, get used to being challenged.
People like us, we are getting used to be criticized. We are getting used to be said no. People say no to you. When people say yes to you, we really appreciate, because it's not, why people should say yes to you. You have to prove. So as an entrepreneur, you have to get used to be challenged. Have to get used to be said no by the other people, by the investors, by your customers, by the people. But this is the opportunity. When everybody believe it, you have no chance. When only a few people believe it, you prove it, that's your chance.
Rule number 32, adapt to change.
只有变化才是年轻人的机会。我这个人性格之中喜欢挑战变化，可能我爸这个从小希望我专注一样东西，但是呢，我永远没专注过。我认为不专注就是一个最大的专注。他让我写书法，我是甲骨文式的书法啊，我是自己自成一套，因为实在写的太难看，所以我的字写的像画画一样，因为正规写法永远写不过别人，我就画画，反正是独特的，你想怎么画都可以。原因是什么？我们必须去适应这个变化的时代。你只要有心里面，因为有些变化不会有多大麻烦，你不变化一定死，没有机会。你变化了，也许你还有机会。
Rule number 33, never give up.
As a young boy, I never thought, as a young boy, even today, I never thought I would be here. Honestly, I never thought. But as a young boy, when I look back, every problems I met when I was a kid benefited me. I failed so many times. People probably know that I'm applying jobs for so many jobs, over 30 jobs, all rejected, none even got a chance. 24 of us were interviewed for a KFC job. 23 accepted. I was the only guy rejected. 6 people went looking for a police job. 5 accepted. I was the only one. My cousin and I applied job as a server in a 4-star hotel in my city. We waited a long queue for 2 hours. He was accepted. I was rejected. So my mother looked at me, but I know this is a training course for me. Before my 30 years old, I'm a failure. People lose, but I never give up. I think there is an opportunity there. And then I was a teacher later. I graduated from university. I was a teacher in the university for 6 years. Number 5, because Number 5 year, I was elected the best teacher of my university, elected by students. So I said, everything I taught my students are the things I learned from books. What if I go out, spend 10 years, experience all the things, whether fail or succeed, I go back to teach again. That was my original thinking doing Alibaba. So I never thought I could be rich. I never thought I would be successful. I never thought we could survive for 18 years. And then we made it.
Rule number 34, try hard.
I think everybody can be successful if you really try hard. I started Alibaba in 1999 in my apartment. I talked to the 18 founders that one of the things we want to prove, if Jack Ma and his team can be successful, 80% of the people in the world, they can be successful because we don't have money, we don't have technology, we don't have almost nothing. The only thing is that we believe in the future and start to do little by little.
Rule number 35, don't plan.
这个我真没有写过 business plan， 大概就一次还没有准备开融资的时候 ，Raymond Lay 也是我从 Valley， 我们晚上酒喝吹牛，他跟我回国去了。然后呢，就写了份 business plan， 想 raise money 在 Silicon Valley， 被一个风险投资说 no， 他说你得给我写份，这个不对那个不对。从那以后我就没写过 business plan， 因为95年、96年、97年，你想写 Internet 的 business plan， 要么你在欺骗投资者，要么你在欺骗自己，你根本不知道会发生什么事情。有些风险投资要你写的很 detailed 的 plan， 你怎么可能呢？对不对？我自己都不知道，我找 MBA Stanford MBA 可以写这么漂亮的，管用吗？不管用。把 plan 用行动写出来才是管用的，对吧？所以呢，我后来觉得 plan 就不要写了，我们人生就是一个 plan， 慢慢的执行，拥抱变化，变化是最好的 plan， 但是你自己不要丢掉你自己的方向感。
Rule number 36, don't worry about competition.
When you do business, don't worry about competition. There's nowhere in this world there's no competition. You have to get used to it. You cannot stop globalization. The world is getting so small. If you cannot stop it, improve it. Forget about the competition today. It's like 10,000 meters running. For the first 200 meters, don't think that guy is the competitor. Keep on running. 3,000 meters later, you will know who's the competitor.
Rule number 37, focus on your customers and team.
Spending time on your customers. Spend time on your people, on your own team. Don't spend time on your investors. Don't spend time on your competitors. When you look at the people you want to serve, when you look at the people you work together, if they're happy, you will win. That's the very simple.
Rule number 38, hire your weaknesses.
我不懂技术，我真不懂技术。我到今天为止还不明白 coding 是怎么回事情。我到今天为止，这个还是这个不懂这个互联网到底这个技术是怎么搞出来的啊？包括因为但我觉得不懂技术不等于你不尊重技术。在阿里里面，可能技术人员跟我吵架，我觉得我回忆中14年来从来没吵过架，没法吵，对吧？我们没法吵架。假设我觉得对阿里来讲的工程师悲剧是一个 CEO 完全不懂技术，最幸运的是也是 CEO 不懂技术。如果 CEO 很懂技术，天天坐在你边上，你活也干不好了，对不对？我告诉你应该这么干，这么干，因为我不知道该怎么干，所以呢，我很敬仰的看着他们。到今天为止，我对我们公司的工程师我是非常敬仰，因为没有一条代码是我写，没有一个 coding 是我检查，但是他今天影响了成千上万的人。我觉得是他们把这个所有我们那些空想变成了现实。我是 show my great respect， 在座的所有工程师是你们改变了这个世界。我们说 vision 不变成现实，一分钱1毛钱都不值。你只有把它变成现实。所以呢，工程师在我们公司里面一直以来所有人认为阿里巴巴是没技术的，原因是什么 ？Jack Ma 不懂技术，怎么可能有技术呢？讲的也有对，但所以让我们很多公司的工程师受了很多委屈。 但是我觉得也有人问过我这句话：马云，你不懂技术啊？王石好像不懂技术，怎么去管互联网公司？我说王石，你们是房地产公司，你会造房子吗？这是两个概念。外行是可以领导内行，关键要尊重内行。
Rule number 39, be strategic.
My view is that when you are 20 to 30 years old, you should follow a good boss, join a good company to learn how to do things properly. When you're 30 to 40 years old, if you want to do something yourself, just do it. You still can't afford to lose, to fail. But when you're 40 to 50 years old, my suggestion is that you should do things that you are good at, right? And not do things that, oh, that's very interesting, I want to try something new. It's a bit dangerous more. When you're 50 to 60 years old, spending time training and developing young people, the next generation. When you're over 60 years old, better stay with your grandchildren. But this is normally general like that. Not everybody will like, but most of the people will like that. So 30 years old, we people next to 30 years are the luckiest period. We have a lot of challenges, a lot of things are happening, and with our knowledge, with our physical power, it's time you need to change. You have to think, if you want to be successful tomorrow, it's impossible. If you want to be successful a year later, it's impossible. But if you want to win 10 years later, you have a chance. That is what I think.
Rule number 40, serve the planet.
I want to do education because I was trained to be a teacher. I feel guilty for only taught school for 6 years. I feel good about that. So that's why I'm talking everywhere. I think of myself CEO, Chief Education Officer. Try my best to communicate. So, and I think China education system, people say a problem. China education is teaching knowledge is so good. 中国的教和育 teaching, we're the best, one of the best in the world. Go to any universities, Chinese students taking exams are the best. In the Stanford, I think, right? They're pretty good. They're very good. But the cultivate, the culture, teamwork, these are terrible. So we got to put more efforts on that. This is something I want to help. And second, environment. I worry about the air pollution, the water, all these things. And so that's why I joined the Nature Conservancy. And the other thing is the infrastructure of the philanthropy. Bill Gates tried to convince me, and with Warren Buffett years ago, came to China, we should donate every money. And I asked them, well, how old are you, Warren? He's 80. I said, when I'm 80, I will donate my money. I'm only 40. What is my philanthropy? China, you go to Beijing, Shanghai, they're rich places, but they are only small part of China. Go to the east, western part of China. So many poor, terrible places. As a business guy, create jobs, build more business, making sure people have jobs, making sure people have life, good conditions. This is the key.
Rule number 41, follow your dreams.
In my apartment, when we started, 18 founders. And we aim high, we have a dream. We say, we want to become the top 10 internet companies or websites in the world. Guys, at that time, we are ranking several million names. But we say, we want to be number 10, or the top 10 of the world. We want to make this company last 102 years, and we don't know where's our pay next month. Well, when you are poor, if you have dreams, you never feel poor. You know what we are doing. So we never say we will win next year or we win tomorrow. We say we will win in 10, 20 years. 19 years passed. Today, we are the top 10 websites, internet companies in the world.
Rule number 42, change your thinking.
African desert, African green is the ecosystem is not controlled by lions and elephants. The ecosystem is controlled by the insects in the mud.
Last century, the company, the bigger, the better. So everybody wanted to be a big company, the powerful company. This century, from now on, a good company is more important than a powerful company. When you compete with big company, in past 20 years, we've been competing with any company. Lots of companies in China. But I learned one thing. No matter how strong an elephant is, if you're an ant, if you hide yourself well, an elephant cannot kill you. You can kill the elephant if you're in a better way. It's about your thinking.
Rule number 43, don't wait for luck.
运气非常重要，没有运气你做不到这一天。当然，你运气是等不来的，说我等运气不会来，走着走着运气自然会来。你真的运气是很有意思，运气是就像要种在外面。
Rule number 44, get used to being rejected.
Our first IPO year 2007, when Alibaba IPO'd in Hong Kong, year 2007, we had a lot of millionaires in the company. And I asked my colleagues, we have 300 people become millionaires. And I asked them, hey, now tell me, you become millionaires because you are smarter than the others? The people said, no. We even cannot find jobs. Right? Because you are hardworking? Yes, we work hard. We find more people hardworking than us. But they did not succeed. Why they're not smart? All the smart people at that time, they went to Microsoft and IBM. And headhunting companies came to headhunt all the best guys from us. And we are the people, nobody come to headhunt us. We have no place to go. We believe in ourselves. We believe our dream. We work together. So I say, we are the people because nobody wants us. I am the person. Over 30 companies don't want me. Right? So we are the people get used to be rejected. We are the people get used to be say no from the other people. Why people should help you? People help you. That is unusual. People do not help you. That is very common. You should work to earn to be helped.
Rule number 45, prove your worth.
KFC has refused to hire you. So with all this no, how at the end of the day, what has been the driver which has made you who you are?
Yeah, I wish people can say yes to me, but if they say yes, I have no choice. I have to accept it. And of course, you're not happy when people say no. Have a good sleep, wake up, try it again. It's always my fault, not the other people's fault. Why you can convince people if you cannot prove it? But the thing is that, very important, there are two groups of people you have to convincing. First group people, your team. They believe in you. They trust in you. And they believe the things we agreed together. And second is your customers. They really love your products. And investors, it's okay.
Rule number 46, be resourceful.
后来去自己创业，然后到外经贸部工作，也就拿了4000块钱一个月工资，那算是临时工。所以开始创业的时候5万块钱，我们花任何一分钱都有可能死掉。我的竞争对手个个比我强，所以我后来明白一个道理：很多创业者死掉不是因为没有钱，而是因为太多的钱。因为你觉得用钱去解决问题的时候，你的问题已经来了。我认为钱解决的问题都不是问题，钱只是去解决问题的一个重要的手段而已。所以很多人说我有钱，我可以干这个，这个人基本是失败，从这一天开始就是失败的开始。所以直到今天为止，阿里巴巴可能是中国互联网，也是全世界互联网中现金储备算比较多的一家公司。我们依旧保持这样的一种风格。我们希望我们永远懂得，我以前好像很多年前我讲过，钱啊，一家公司的钱就像一个国家的军队，不能轻易动，但是一旦要动，必须得赢。钱不能乱花，以为有钱都能解决问题是肯定，所以我们形成了很。
Rule number 47, never complain.
As an entrepreneur, we never complain.
we make other people complain. We make our competitors complain. We never cry, because if cry can solve the problems, can solve no problem. We make competitors cry. We make those people who do not believe our dreams cry.
Rule number 48, embrace the change.
I think people worry about jobs. Today we think people worry about artificial intelligence. Well, don't worry too much about that. People are improving, and people worry about the security. Alibaba got, in the past 5 years, every day we got 300 million attacks per day. But we think it's an opportunity. Let's learn it. Let's learn how to do it, solve the problems. And then in the future, when we got the experience, share with the others. That's the whole thing. So I want to encouraging everybody. Look at the future. We cannot avoid it. We have to embrace it. We have to live it, think about the future. And there are a lot of things. My grandfather will never be surprised, will be so surprised that today human beings have so many jobs can be created.
Rule number 49, act.
记得大概96年、95年，我是晚上骑了个自行车去上班，在杭州，在文二街，黑乎乎的看到几个人在偷那个窨井盖。我也没什么武功，对吧？这么瘦，一看人家个子那么大，我一看冲上去估计打不过人家，我就骑了个自行车到处去找人，看看有没有警察。大概5分钟以后，我没找到警察，但是我还是因为我脑子里想到那个窨井盖，前几天有个孩子掉进那个窨井盖里，窨井里面淹死掉了。我觉得 somebody has to stop them， 所以我就回过去骑了个自行车，人还是跨在自行车上。我说你们把他给抬回去，然后他们几个人看着我一眼，我想这时候他们冲过来，估计我也跑了。但是我也不知道哪来的勇气，我说你给他抬回去。这时候突然来了一个人出来说你说什么？我看有人帮忙了，我就说他偷窨井，他们之前偷窨井盖，必须给他拿回去。后来我聊得很激动，看到边上有个摄像机原来他们在搞一个测试。但是那天晚上据说我是杭州唯一过了这个测试的人其他人走过就没有经过我想想这个还是蛮有意思的事情。有的时候世界在发生变化，如果你不自己采取一点小小的行动，这个变化跟你没关系。如果你参加一点行动，你就可能是这个变化者的受益者。
And rule number 50, the last one before a very special bonus clip, is find your home.
1999 we started the business, and people ask why not Beijing, Shanghai, why Hangzhou?
I mean, now Hangzhou is this hub of entrepreneur and startups and tech, but back then
Hangzhou is nowhere, and I think at that time Nokia was so good at that time. And I say, guys, where's Nokia? It's a thing that some small island headquarters there. It's not where you are. I don't see it. It's where your heart is, where your vision is. So we said, Beijing, they love SOE, state-owned business. Shanghai, they love multinational companies. IBM, Microsoft, they embrace you. Startup, entrepreneur, forget it, right? So I said, if in Beijing, we're nobody. In Shanghai, we're nobody. If we go back to Hangzhou, we're the only child of the local family. So we started.
Now I have a special bonus clip from Jack on how to be a true leader that I think you're gonna enjoy. But before that, it's time for the 3-point landing questions. Let's go from just watching a video to taking action. Here we go. Question number 1. What's the first weakness that you need to hire for? Number 2, where do you need to focus on quality instead of size? And number 3, what's the big problem that you are trying to solve? And if you like this video and will take action after watching it, give me a hashtag believe down in the comments as well.
I found out some great leaders in the world. They are always positive. They never complain others and never complain. And they look at the things in a different view, like normal people. So I think people in my company, they, at the beginning, they don't like me because I'll always think about 10 years, 5 years. And then after we working together for 3 or 5 years, they found, you are right. Then we got the credit rating. And as a CEO, one of the jobs, when everybody's happy, you have to see the unhappy things. When everybody's unhappy, you have to see the happy things. So leadership is nature, but you have to have train and learn. And I got my leadership upgraded in Davos. I see so many. Ali Enter Financing, how many people here know about Alipay? Thank you. Alipay's decision was made here. I was thinking about Alipay, but I was not there to launch Alipay because in China, if you do financing without license, you will be in jail at that time. So I went to the banks, can you help us do the e-commerce on transaction? No. No banks would accept it. So if there will be no Alipay, no financing, the e-commerce would go nowhere. So year 2004, I was here. Listen to a speech by 2 state leaders about leadership. And this guy said, leadership is about responsibility. You believe it, but the people don't believe it. But if you think it's so critical, you should pay any price to do it. So that day changed my mind, and I called back to my team, say, let's launch it within 1 month. If somebody has to go to the jail, I go to the jail. Who will be the second one follow me? If I go, you continue, and you go to the jail, you go continue. That was called the leadership determination. And year 2004, I made the decision here, I called it back. And now today the Alipay launched, and it's so big, over 800 million people today using Alipay globally. This is called.
If you want to learn 9 surprising facts about Jack Ma, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
For 9 years, every morning, almost whether snow, rain, sun, I went there looking for foreign tourists to become the free guide.